Hey guys, what's going on? Russo here bringing you guys episode 15 of the Hardcore Ironman series, and thank you guys so much for all the support that you guys do give me on this series. It is absolutely tremendous. I just want to make sure you guys do know how appreciative I am of all the likes you guys put on these videos, all the comments, every single thing that has to do with anything on this YouTube channel, but most specifically this Hardcore Ironman series. So, a little bit of a different format today. I'm very excited to bring it to you. Hopefully you guys do like it. If you guys do, make sure you guys do leave a comment in the section below. I'd love to know if you guys do like this format better than my old format. So what we're basically doing is we're going to show you guys each level that we got by skill, so it kind of keeps a linear progression. So we're going to be going ahead and starting off with Hunter. Now during this episode we do end up getting ourselves 83 Hunter, which will allow us to go hunt some Dragon Implings, hopefully getting us a glory, and then we also are going to be going to Puro right after this to to go ahead and get some eclectic implings to not only start the clue grind, but hopefully get some other good supplies as well. So moving on to the next skill in the episode, guys, we are going to be going ahead and doing ourselves some fletching. Now, as you guys can see in my inventory, we are actually fletching some maple longbows, and we are not going to be stringing them. We're going to be keeping them as maple longbow use. Now, why are we doing this? To alch them. So while we are running agility, while we're just chilling in the bank, we're going to go ahead and actually out those. Now we do need to go ahead and get ourselves 77 magic in order to do the make glass spell, and that'll actually eventually lead us up to our fury grind when we have to go ahead and get ourselves 85 crafting. So once we actually get lunars unlocked, that's where we will be progressing with our 77 magic, and fletching these maple longbows will definitely help our way there. So fortunately enough for us, we did actually get the Magic Guild unlocked, so we can actually go in there, or the Mage Guild unlocked, excuse me. We can actually go in there, grab ourselves some Nature Runes at a pretty decent price, because these bows actually alch at 192 GP each, and the Nature Runes actually buy either, a little bit above that or a little bit below that, so it's basically a 1-to-1 alch. So, as you guys can tell, we are alching right here. There it is, guys, 64 magic. I already kind of spoiled it. We did go ahead and get ourselves 66. There is 65, as we are doing agility as well, and now we're just kind of hanging out in the bank, getting ourselves 66 magic. So pretty cool, I would say. Moving on to questing, guys, we actually did complete a couple quests this episode. Kind of really pleased about it. I've really actually been enjoying questing. So this, during this episode, we actually did complete Regicide. So the first quest we did was Temple of Ikov. Pretty easy. We actually fletched our own longbow. Didn't have to go do, clues for the compound. So it's actually pretty nice. We were able to fletch our own longbow. We went ahead and completed the Chompy Bird quest, and went ahead and completed the Death Plateau quest as well. So a lot of questing done, guys. Very, very excited about that. I'm not even going to lie to you. Very, very excited about questing, and there it is, guys. The Regicide quest. Wow. That quest was ridiculous. That quest is absolutely ridiculous. But the good part about it, guys, was I really did enjoy it at the end of the day. So, I think we spent like over 2.5 hours on it, because we had to keep running through the underground pass constantly. It was pretty brutal. So, moving on to hit points, guys, we did achieve 52 hit points. Moving on to cooking, once again, I did kind of allude to this, or I will be alluding to this during the bank portion of this video. We are trying to get ourselves 89 cooking to actually go ahead and cook all of our sharks. So, moving on to collecting from the kingdom. Now, I would eventually like to show all these clips, but let me know in the comment section below if you guys want me to show you all the clips from my kingdom. But we're going to go ahead and throw it to a live commentary on our bank. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the bank on the Hardcore Ironman. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this first part, and here's the second part of the bank video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the first part of the video. So what I'm going to do for the second half of the video is we are going to take you through the bank. So there's been 15 episodes of this series, and we have still yet to show you what is in our bank, what have we actually accomplished, what are we working on, how are we moving forward with stuff. So that is exactly what I'm going to show you guys. So I want to just go ahead and forewarn you, going into the bank here, the first tab is an absolute disaster. So as you guys can tell, there's just a lot of items. So we've been working through a lot of quests, as you guys probably know. We did a little bit this episode. I'm just moving the death runes back over here, guys. So we've been doing like a lot of questing. We've been doing a lot of just, little things here and there. Not really like there hasn't been too much structure to it. Just been trying to get a lot of the early levels so that we can obviously move forward with the account. So a lot of early levels have been gotten. A lot of questing's been done. So basically this first tab is just literally everything and anything that I don't really think belongs anywhere and doesn't really have a tab, and we just haven't, decided to organize it. So I actually wanted to record this when I didn't organize it, because of the fact that I wanted to show you guys what I'm really working with, how we actually organize stuff. So, all the tabs that you see in the top were already pre-organized. That's how we kind of kept it. But we'll obviously go forward and add a couple more tabs on an as-needed basis, or as we think they are needed. So the first tab here, guys, has a lot of my runes and obviously my cash deck. So you guys know where I got the cash deck from. We actually achieved 99 thieving. Now that cash deck was actually at like I think like 7.5 million, almost 8 million, probably a little bit more than 8 million at some point. But as you guys can tell, we have 20 2,300 nature runes, so that actually cost us a pretty penny, and we're actually going to go ahead and use those and alch some of our maple longbows. So once we alch the maple longbows, they alch for about 1-to-1, I believe. It's about 192 GP is what the maple longbows actually alch for, because they are unstrung, and then we can actually buy the nature runes at 192, even sometimes less, guys. So it's actually like a 1-to-1 ratio, so it's actually pretty good, and the alch aren't bad for a hardcore. So this is basically the first tab. A lot of runes up here in the upper section here. A lot of GP, as you guys can tell, and GP is extremely important on the early levels because we want to go ahead and maintain our kingdom. So scroll through here, we have a lot of really super random items, like I told you guys before. Our Hardcore Ironman gear, which is what we first got when we first came off Tutorial Island. A lot of really weird armor, some crafting stuff from early crafting levels, some random arrows. I mean, guys, literally everything and anything. We got some mostly harmless teleports. Literally everything and anything super random is in here. This is something that we really need to organize. So we have 644 baskets for whatever reason. Well, that is because when we actually went to go ahead and do thieving, we actually saved all the apples that we got, all the strawberries, and actually we have a couple baskets of apples there. But we saved all those because those were actually going to come in handy with some dyes from some of the early on, from some of the early questing that we did. The Chronicle, which was super helpful at the beginning of the game when we didn't have any teleports. We still do use it occasionally, but obviously now we have access to Law Runes and our way to make to Varrock. So Tome of Fire, which actually I don't really know what tab this should be in. Obviously we get it from Wintertide, and as you guys can tell, our second tab does have the fire making cape, but we don't currently use it for anything like that. We use it more for combat, and we've actually used it quite often with alching and stuff. So but yeah, a lot of really super random stuff, guys. 2,600 bone bolts, that, and of course our Dorgshin crossbow, which is what we've been using to actually train our Slayer up so far. And yeah, like I said, just super random stuff, but a lot of good stuff, guys. A lot of really cool stuff. So moving on to the second tab, we do have our fire making tab. So this is exactly what we had, or not exactly what we had, but this was our tab when we are currently doing Wintertide. So as you guys can tell, we have our fire making cape up here, full pyro gear. Now we actually got 2 tomes of fire. This one's actually empty. The previous tome of fire, we actually put 1 single page in it because we have yet to use it for anything to do with combat. The only thing we're using it for is things like alching and things for superheating. So it's actually been really beneficial for us, so I've kind of enjoyed that. It's been really good. I've never got to use a Tome of Fire before, so I'm really excited about that. Other thing we have in here, guys, is burnt pages, some of our gear like the Clue Hunter cloak, some logs, now we do have some ores in here. I believe those were from Wintertide. We have some logs in it. Now, these are all from our kingdom, so this is where my stack of maple longbows has become. So, all the maple logs you guys see, initially we did get, a good amount of supply from Wintertide, but from then on forward, we are actually getting them all from our kingdom. And I'll show you guys the herbs that we're getting from there a little bit later on. As you guys can see, there is an herb tab located on the top. So, we basically have over 7,600 maple longbows. Every single time we get, maples, I believe we collect from our kingdom about every 3 to 4 days. So, that's actually really good for, our fletching levels and our fletching gains. So as you guys can tell, we got over 70 fletching in this episode. So but we are going to continually get maple longbows, and I believe that'll be the path forward to 99 at some point. It's going to unfortunately take a lot of them, but we're going to maintain our kingdom because kingdom and herb lore is what really goes together. So that's where we are stashing away all of our maple longbows. Eventually all those will be out. Moving on to the next tab, guys, we actually have our fishing tab. Now for those of you guys who didn't actually watch the Hardcore Ironman series early on, we actually caught 1 million minnows, which is why you see we have 25,000 raw sharks there. We are waiting until we get to 89 cooking using the cooking gauntlets from the Family Crest quest, and then we're going to go ahead and cook those and hopefully not burn them. So really low on food, to be honest with you. We have a couple, we have some trout here, we have some tuna, but really no good food to actually go do some questing with. So we're really looking forward to getting that 89 cooking, being able to use those sharks, or we might go catch some lobsters or some swordfish or something along those lines. So moving on to the next tab, guys, really kind of a miscellaneous tab. Just thought it was really cool to kind of label the tabs with our skill capes. This is where we keep our rogues outfit and our graceful outfit, two really crucial skilling outfits that we have been using, or we did use. So we'll be using the rogues outfit when we actually need some more GP and going back to night so we can get that double GP. Moving on to the next tab, guys, this is where our farming tab currently stands. Now, farming is something that I've not really, put an emphasis on and a focus on. We put an emphasis and a focus on it, via questing with Throne of Miscellanea, Fairy Tale Part 1, and we've also, done a couple farm runs here and there to get some herbs. We will definitely put a focus on this when we get a chance to go ahead and do some Master Farmers offline, because I don't want to show you guys that in the stream. It's kind of boring just clicking in the same spot multiple times over and over and over. So that's what we will do. Now, we do, we do have a couple sweet corn seeds, tomato seeds. We're doing allotments, we're doing herbs, we're doing flowers, and pretty much on an Ironman, you really just want to do any farming that you can do. So we're learning that. We're learning the methods. We're learning what to do, and eventually that will, you know, come to fruition. But for now, we have some pretty low farming, but that is where we are keeping all of our seeds. Moving on to the next step, guys, this is an awesome tab so far. So this is exactly what we have been getting from our kingdom, is all these herbs. Now, I have not cleaned them yet, guys. We have not really put the emphasis, like I just said, on farming, but we have also not put the emphasis on herb lore just quite yet. So eventually we will need to go ahead and get our herb lore level up a little bit, so we will be cleaning all of these herbs, getting the secondaries that are needed, and making them into potions. So herb lore is undoubtedly the hardest skill on a hardcore Ironman, or Ironman in general, to actually go ahead and get to 9. It's very, very slow. Kingdom will be very, very useful, and drops from Slayer monsters will be useful as well. So moving on to the next tab, guys, this is kind of our interim crafting tab. So as you guys can tell, we also use this for smithing because we have our gold ore in here. Now, the gold ore and the gold bars are actually used to make jewelry as well. So that's exactly why we have them kind of lumped together. The silver ore as well. So as you guys can tell, we have 52 ring of recoils. We have, 64, ring of duel links, and we also have some regular sapphire rings and a couple of ruby rings, and I believe we have some, emerald rings up here that we have yet to enchant. So eventually we will enchant those, but we haven't really gotten into combat yet, so we're not really using those. We do have almost 2,000 unpowered orbs from when we did blow them with the glass pipe, so that's pretty cool. So we actually made some, molten glass, but that is our crafting and our smithing tab as it stands today. And the final tab, guys, is just a little bit of miscellaneous stuff. So we actually had to get 85 dragon bones in order to go ahead and get ourselves 43 prayer for our overhead prayers. We actually just collected these 200 implings while we were hunting, so unfortunately you guys didn't see that in the video because there was no hunter levels to be had. We have over 200 eclectics to open very, very soon. Hopefully we're going to be increasing that number, getting around 500. We're going to be starting the ranger boot grind. We're going to be starting the the clue grind on the implings, and hopefully we'll be able to get some really cool stuff. So the other thing I want to show you guys is the chin. So we have 7,300 chins from getting 8,300, which is really, really, really cool. So I actually decided to start our chin hunting at about level 73, or about level 70, excuse me, when in term I could have actually started at level 63 and probably would have had around 10,000 chins. But for me, I think it was a little bit faster at level 70, so that made all the difference. But we are ending up with 7,300 chins. Eventually we will throw them, and we will actually get ourselves 75 range and hopefully attempt the fire cape. So just want to show you guys the bank a little bit. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did enjoy this episode of the Hardcore Ironman, make sure you guys do slap a like on the video. I really would appreciate that. If we could try to get to 75 likes this video, I think that would be really, really cool. I mean, you guys have the support you've been giving on this series has been absolutely tremendous, and I just really do want to thank you guys. So I tried to do format this episode. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys did, but just want to go ahead and show you the bank. I look forward to seeing you guys on next week's episode of the Hardcore Ironman series, and we'll see you guys then.